Hello, this is Neo Reality Entertainment. I wanted to go ahead and give my thoughts on the movie Mockingjay Part 1 of the Hunger Games series. Um, um, like, okay, I'm going to start this off by saying I really like this movie. I really do. I honestly thoroughly enjoyed it. I really loved how it went all political and propaganda this and political this. That was like a big highlight for me. Like everything was about being political and like we need to target this and target that, and we have to advertise this pretty much to promote the resistance or to promote fear. And like yeah, yeah, war can be won in the editing room, not with guns and bombs. You don't have to win a war doing just that. Which I think is kind of clever and kind of rarely used nowadays. I think sometimes. But moving on from that, let's see. I'm not going to do any spoilers except mention one of my favorite scenes in a later bit. Um, there's also the fact that in the movie, like I took this like okay, they're talking about WWE Creative, right? Like they do this scene. Katniss is doing this, trying to do the scene. She's being presented this with a script, being told do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and she's just terrible at the acting of it. Like, wow, it was just wow. Like, yeah, that's WWE creative right there. That's the creative team nowadays. And like how they went ahead and saw this, like, okay, how do we make Katniss feel like she's herself without actually doing something like that? How do we do this? And they pretty much did what a lot of people in WWE, a lot of fans of WWE want to do, like go bullet points, saying just do this, do this, do this, but overall just say what you want in order to get to this message through. And like where they take her to these various locations and say, Katniss, I'm gonna show you this, and say the first thing that comes to your mind. And look, that worked. Like, yeah, this is what WWE Creative should be like, where you pretty much say the first thing that comes to mind in a promo, and see and just go from there. There's also so like let's see, what was I also gonna mention? Let's see. Also, how the execution scenes they did. Like, someone I saw on YouTube comment about this saying, yeah, this was reminding me of the Soviet Union, and considering how the Soviet Union was, I wouldn't blame him or her. But like I saw the message of fear, and like this is the standard dictator, evil supreme leader of an empire, and President Snow is pretty much the anti version of Santa. Like, I'm not giving you Christmas presents this year, and I'm going to instead install fear into your hearts. And like, yes, I just loved how they made this movie so great. Like, I know it got a 67% Rotten Tomato. It wasn't really as big as Catching Fire, though. Really, I think it's kind of hard to replicate Catching Fire's approval ratings, but overall, this was a very enjoyable film. My favorite scene has to be where Katniss sings the hanging tree part, and there's the resistance, and they're all singing it, and like, that's a good song. Like, I really like that song. Like, I like it for days. I kept hearing it in my head. Like, that was just such a great song, and especially how it was representing their fight for their freedom and from their freedom of oppression. And I really digged the ending to it, like the choking scene. Like, I never read the books, let me just say that. So that was an awesome, like, freak out scene. I mean, like, I certainly like that. Though my one complaint about it is the fact that that didn't end the scene. That didn't end the movie. Like, where Peeta is choking Katniss, and like then he gets hit in the head with looks like a doctor's silver table tray or something like that, and he gets hit in the head, and man, they could have cut the credits right there, and that would have kept everyone wondering, what happens next, man? What happens next? And they were just so close, yet they continued on with the movies, and I felt like, man, you ruined that idea. A way to do a cliffhanger and anger the audience so they can come back for more? Oh yeah, that's something I would do as a director, mostly because I would be an evil, sadistic, crazy man who likes to build something up and then, ooh, cliffhanger. Like, I would just laugh and enjoy the audience's frustration hearing, hey, we want to know what happens next, man. Tell us what happens next. And you have to pretty much tell them, nope, you have to wait. And they'll just be mad, and I would know we just made big money on this. So they had a chance to do that, and they failed. Nope, they gave it a conclusive ending somewhat. And I know there's still issues to be resolved, and the fact that this is only part one, that kind of obviously shows it. But I really would have loved it if they had went with the cliffhanger of Katniss is being choked, and Peeta gets hit in the head, and boom, cut to credits. But no, that was the original plan as far as I knew. But overall, we all know how it ended. Overall, I would say this was a pretty enjoyable movie. It has all this political depth and symbolism, obviously. I would personally recommend looking at this movie. I mean, this movie was fun. It was enjoyable. The political intrigue and depth to it was great. The symbolisms were great. The song, "The Hanging Tree," pretty much stole the movie. I would personally recommend this, especially if nothing more than that song. It's out on iTunes. You could check it out on iTunes and Android, I think, and Amazon, depending on how you buy your songs. But overall, I recommend this. So, this was Neo Reality Entertainment. This were my thoughts on the Mockingjay Part 1. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.